A very good day to you out there, and this is welcoming you to this special program that we call High on the Ball. And then what do you mean by that? It's a program, a partnership program between Positive Agenda Nigeria, PAN, and Insight Multilinks Media, aimed at critically examining and analyzing what the politicians are actually saying during this election in Osun State. As we are all aware that Osun governorship election is coming up on the 16th of July 2022. That is about less than 2 months. Yes, that's less than 2 months. And then what are the politicians saying? We all know that we have 15 political parties that have filled their candidates for this election. And now the campaign has started. What are they really saying? What are they telling the electorate? Over 2 million electorates that we have in the state. Is it actually personality attack, or it is actually issue-based? What issues are they discussing? What are the agenda for the state? Is it that they are just of the opinion that they are the best, or they believe that they have what it takes to actually lead us? And that is what we are going to be examining in this program. It's going to be a weekly program on Wednesday. And, my name is Jare Tiamiyu. I'm going to be your anchor. Why? People from Positive Agenda, they will be our analysts, and we will be analyzing what the issues have been during the period. Today we are going to start from what has happened on the April 9th, till today, till May 11. What is really going on? What have people said? Have they been actually discussing what they have, or they are just attacking one another? And also, as we know, we'll also be looking at what the issues in Osun should be. What should they be discussing at this period? My guest today is Dr. Rasheed Adebiyi. Dr. Adebiyi is a lecturer at the Department of Mass Communication, Fountain University, and also is a development communication enthusiast and also a journalist. That is, 3 in 1. It will be our analyst today, and we'll be discussing these matters together. As you consider, we have issues that we want to discuss. What are the attacks? What are their claims? And who is defending? Is there any defense? And if there are none, why? Those are the things we'll be discussing. Please stay tuned as I move to the other side of the studio where I meet my guest, and we'll start. You're welcome from that very short break. And as I said, my guest is already here. And my analyst for today is Dr. Rasheed Adebiyi, as I said earlier. He's already with me in the studio. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Sir, let's start from here. I would like to ask, what exactly is Positive Agenda Nigeria all about? Yeah. What do you do?
Thank you very much. Positive Agenda Nigeria is a group of researchers who have come together to monitor the campaign atmosphere in Osun. Majorly, we started in 2018, where we examined what the politicians were telling the electorate. Were they selling their candidates? Were they selling their programs? Were they selling their policies and manifesto? Or were they doing some other things that are not related to issues that will make the electorate to choose wisely? And so that's why we have come together as a group of researchers. We monitored online, we monitored offline campaign environment to see whether the politicians are saying what should enable the people to choose rightly.
Oh, I think that is very important, because as we speak now, we have to look at how people are losing interest, not because of the fact that they do not believe in the system, because they believe that at least this one A is not different from B, and with this we believe we will get it right. Now, I would like to ask, why campaign monitoring? Why is it important to your organization?
Thank you very much. Elections are important in any democracy. As a matter of fact, election period is a period that enables the electorate to assess the government in power and to see whether they are going to give the mandate to continue, or they will shop for some other candidate to come and replace the incumbent. So one of the key ingredients of the electoral process is the campaign, where the political parties and their candidates will move around to tell people what they have in stock for them if they are eventually elected. And so it is very, very important because it enables people to make right decisions. Yes, people can say, what about stomach infrastructure? What about vote buying and all of that? But to us, campaigns are important because if they are not actually important, the politicians will not be moving around. The politicians will not set up the campaign councils or committee. The politicians will not set aside huge amount of money to go on here to sponsor ads on social media to engage people. So engagement is important, and what we are looking at is how productive has the engagement been, because it will assist the people to choose rightly. And because when we have a sane campaign atmosphere, all of the political parties, 15 of them in this coming election, should be able to have access to the people, sell their ideas and candidates, and give the people that opportunity to elect whoever they have trust in. So that's why it is important. And much more so in this era where we talk about information pollution that will come in terms of misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. It's important that we check what is happening in our campaigns so that we will know that politicians are not actually deliberately misleading the public, especially about issues, especially about policies, especially about programs and the manifesto of their parties as well as the candidates.
Okay, I think as you said, I said the other time, it's very important we look into it. And
Yes.
I would like to ask, with this kind of analysis that we would like to be doing from now, we would like to be telling some candidates what they should be doing. We would like to know what the approach are you using, to actually gauge all this. What are the parameters that you are using to gauge the performances of all these political parties?
Thank you very much. We are looking at all the media of communication that the politicians, the parties, and the candidates are employing. So we are looking at mainstream media as well as online media. Drawn from the experience we had in 2018, we understood that the campaign environment is clearly divided into two: the online and the offline. The offline comprises of their jingles on radio and television, their interviews on radio and television, and other engagement on billboards, in their flyers, on posters, and what have you. So we are actually looking at the messages they're putting across to the people on this media. For the online campaign environment, we are looking at the social media. As we can all see and understand, the social media has become an important part of our present life. And so politicians also want to reach the electorate online. Yes, we've heard that, we've had a lot of people say Facebook, Twitter, Instagram doesn't win elections. But of course, they are important media
Yes.
through which the electorate could be reached. So we are monitoring all of this, and we are subjecting whatever the politicians are putting across to the people to analysis. We are collecting the messages, we are analyzing them, and we are coming up with our findings as to what actually they are saying. What are they telling the people? Is it issue-based or personality attacks? And so we have this as part of our approach, where we analyze, and then, we gather the data, we code them, we analyze, and then we release the results. And this is going to continue until the day of the election. And after the election, we intend to send the report of everything that we have observed to the appropriate quarters, so that by the coming election after July 22, perhaps in 2026, we should be able to do better, or we should be able to look back and do some kind of comparison between what has happened in 2018, what is happening in 2022, that will determine what will actually happen in 2026. Perhaps our observations, our reports will be able to impact policies, will be able to assist INEC and other concerned stakeholders in ensuring that the campaign atmosphere is sane.
Okay. Would like to let's now come back to Osun. As you said, you monitored in 2018,
18, yes.
and now we are in 2022.
22,
If I may ask you, at this period, that election is about 2 months away, what is the atmosphere, political atmosphere in Osun?
Well, at this point, what we have observed is that, yes, the campaigns have started on a slow mood. And we believe that as time goes on, we'll see a pickup in the campaign atmosphere. Yes, we've seen a number of jingles on radio and television. We've seen some posters and billboards. We've even seen some physical movement to campaign grants where people are gathered together and the candidates are talking. We've also seen subtle campaign where candidates are moving from one religious organization to other. We've seen candidates going to observe Juma and all of that. All of these are part of what we later graduate into a huge campaign atmosphere. It's a slow pickup, and I think it is characteristic of the election period in Osun. The movement will start up gradually. A couple of days back, the APC inaugurated its campaign council.
Yes.
And so we've also seen the PDP traveling to Iwo, have gone to Elisha to talk to people and all of that. And so gradually we believe that things will pick up. For now, the atmosphere is still a little bit thin, but it is characteristic of a starting point for campaign and activities where each political parties will be looking at one another. One thing I would like to also raise here is the campaign activities of parties that people compare, people named to be smaller parties, because it is clear that in Nigeria, it's either you are contesting to have a higher chances of getting the people's mandate, you have to use an established political vehicle. And I think the APC and the PDP have proved to, over the years, have proved to be some established political vehicles through which people could have. But of course, the other parties, yes, we have some parties
like
too.
ABGA.
Yes, ABGA, like Accord.
And then so, Kano now,
NNPP,
yeah.
and all of that. So all of these parties should be in the contest. We want to see them becoming more feasible and giving the two established parties a run for their monies.
Okay, I would like you to run the data now.
Yeah.
What has happened between April 19th and April 9th to May 11th this year?
Well, thank you very much for that. As I've said, we've monitored the political parties across the different platforms, that they have used, and so far, especially online, we have been able to monitor about 60 messages that emanated from both political actors, and from those messages, we've had about 76 traces of campaign strategies. And out of this, we have traces of attacks, we have traces of acclaims, and we have traces of defenses. When we say attack, we don't mean physical attack. We mean messages that are passed to promote a candidate and to demote another candidate. And when we say acclaim, we mean the parties talking about the strength that they have, what the value it is that they are bringing to the table. And when we talk about the defenses, we are talking about the parties responding to either their claims or the attacks on each other. So we started the monitoring from Saturday, April 9, 2022, and it ended on Wednesday, May 11, 2022. So across the three variables that we are using to analyze the messages, we've seen 2.38% of attacks. On Saturday, April 9, 2022, on Tuesday, April 26, 2022, the same thing. On Friday, April 29, we had 7.14%. On Friday, May 6, 2022, we have 11.90%. On Saturday, May 7, 2022, we have 16.66%. And on Tuesday, May 10, 2022, we had 19.04%. And on Wednesday, May 11, 2022, we had 11.90%. In the messages, our analysts discover about 106 traces of campaign or policy issues from the messages that were sent to the people. We discover that the political actors are either paying visit to traditional institutions, or there are intra-party visitation over campaign and so on. The nomination of candidates for state assembly, election, and the candidate national party engagement, and the popularity of a candidate. So, of the issues of the campaign or policy issues that featured in the week that we looked at, we had issues on infrastructure standing at 11.32%, social programs 10.37%, workers' salary, welfare and employment 9.43%, agriculture 9.43%, economy 8.49%, education the same percent, which is 8.49%, and that's from economy, education and health, and of course security is taking 6.60%. But others that we cannot clearly categorize are standing at 27.35%.
Maybe like stomach infrastructure and all
others that we cannot actually really say this is where we are going to categorize them. So across the media types, Facebook and newspaper, analysis reveals that identified campaign issues or policies were discussed more on Facebook than in the newspapers. Yes, and this is understandable, except where a candidate buys a full page of advert or half page and put the agenda there. What they feature mostly in are either news or interviews, and we've not had any major interview of that nature so far in the weeks that we have examined. So, in terms of political parties that had supporters and candidates that engage in the public using campaign issues or policies, our analysis reveals that All Progressive Congress was much better than the PDP and the Allied People's Movement, which is APM, yes, in engaging the people with policies. Our textual analysis shows that supporters of the party and the party itself, through its campaign Facebook page, the PDP, Molede, predominantly leverage personality trait component of the category, which means that instead of pushing the agenda, the core issues, the party was busy looking at the personality trait, especially on Facebook. You will know in 2018, we discovered about 100 politicians-induced Facebook users who we call data boys. You know them.
I understand.
So they come up, they bring issues up, they throw it out, and when they come, people begin to talk about it. And mostly, and funny enough, those issues seem to be enjoying more engagement than the real issues of governance. And so that's what we are saying, that instead of talking about other things that are not related to issues of governance as means of engagement, why can't we engage on issues? Why can't we engage on policies? Why can't we do more in terms of selling the candidates' capabilities and capacity to run the state? So that's exactly what we had. And so when we look at the campaign strategies in relation to campaign issues such as their claims and attacks, the two of them used claims and the two of them used attacks. But what we are saying is that the PDP used more of attacks than their claims, while the APC was a little bit better. And we know that when you look at the acceptance speech of the the chairman of the APC campaign council. I want anyone who has access to go and take a look at it. They say the campaign is going to be issue-based.
Yes.
The party will sell.
The chairman of the BDP, as in the campaign DG of BDP, also said the same thing.
Also said the same thing. And so when we have them saying this, what we are saying is that they should stay true to their words. When you say the campaigns are going to be issue-based, let them be issue-based. Let us look at the issues. Let us look at, of course, there is no perfect government in the world. And so when anybody who is coming up to challenge the incumbents, I mean, tell us what are going to do better than what is on ground. Let us see what you are bringing to the table that's going to be better than what the incumbent is. And that is the crux of democracy. That's what makes democratic journey very beautiful.
So that's what makes democratic journey very beautiful. And on that note, I would like you to conclude within very few seconds. I believe we may still have some data, but I know that because of our time, we'll still have some other time next week when we are back here.
Yes,
so I'd like you to conclude.
Especially the reports will be released and it's going to be online. Anybody who's interested can go access and read them and then get across with feedback. But what is important here is that we are going to monitor the campaign atmosphere. We want to know what the politicians are talking about. We want to know the issues. We want to know the policies. We want to know the programs that they are talking about. And sincerely, we will be happy that the parties, 15 of them, are coming up with issue-based campaign that's going to focus on the issues of what's going to make the state better. So our verdict is that, yes, in the last week that we have monitored, we noticed that the two major parties engaged in attacks and claims, but the PDP was more on the aggressive side than the APC. And we want to enjoin that all political parties, not only the PDP and APC alone, every political party that is involved in the electoral process in the state should bring issues to the fore when they are going out to campaign. And they are going out to campaign is not limited to what they do offline, because we monitor what they do online. We are going to monitor what they are going to do online. I want to commend the parties that so far we've not seen any physical violent attacks. We don't pray for such. We want a campaign atmosphere that's going to be peaceful, that's going to be issue-based, and that we can say at the end of everything after July 16 that yes, for Osun 2022, the politicians played according to the rules.
Okay, the politicians play according to the rules. And on that note, I want to say thank you for being part of today's show. And next week, we will be back here to also discuss what has happened between May 12th till that time. And I believe you can check the reports online. We are going to assess them, and you can see some of the data as we display them during the course of this interview. Thank you so much, Dr. Rashid Adebi, for being part of today's show, and I believe we will be here back next week to also discuss more. And on that note, I want to say thank you for being part of it. My name is Jare Tiamiyu. Bye for now.